You've heard what he said. You've heard what she said. But have you heard what Lady E said? I took a trip back home to South Haven, Michigan, and I sat down with the mother of Big Tev. We didn't just discuss her son's untimely death, but we talked about the loss of her dear mother. We talked about her upbringing and her thriving business. This is not just a conversation about loss. This is a conversation about bouncing back.
Yeah,
So
we
we're ready
good.
to go.
We're ready to roll.
Let's roll.
All right.
Happy belated birthday to Miss Elain. Elain is a devoted mother of 4, a resilient entrepreneur, and the woman behind the name everyone knows as the Juice Lady. On the heels of a pandemic, Elain launched her business the same year her son died tragically. Then experiencing the devastating loss of her mother just months later, Elain faced unimaginable grief, but she refused to let it define her. With a strong background in the service industry, Elain built a reputation for exceptional customer service and genuine connection. Working in upscale establishments, Elain developed relationships with high-end clientele. Those connections, combined with her passion for hospitality, helped lay the foundations for Juices by Elain and a successful mobile bartending business. Through heartbreak, loss, and life's unexpected challenges, Elain has continued to rise. A reminder that even after life knocks you down, you can still find a way to thrive. Welcome for the first time to Behind Bars, grandmother of 16, mother of 4, business lady, and boss, Miss Elain Hunter.
I like that intro.
That's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
You like that, huh?
That's you. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that I like that.
That's you. That's
it
you.
right there.
Welcome.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you here. I've had so many guests on the podcast that I've just been wanting to talk to for so long.
Right.
And so you've been one of them.
Wow.
And so I'm glad to have you here. Before we get started, I'm going to give you an opportunity to shout your people out because I don't want them to be mad at
I'm
you.
shouting out. Who am I shouting out? Who am I shouting out?
Shout your people. That's on
kids.
you.
I'm shouting out my kids. I'm shouting out. Oh, I got 16 grandkids. I can't even begin.
Woo!
16.
Do she look like she could have 16 grandkids?
No, thank you. Shouting out my kids. I'm going to shout us out, all my kids. I got Ashley, I got Nick, I got Lexi. I'm going to just shout my kids out. I'm just shouting everybody. Yeah.
Shout out to the kids.
Shout out to the kids.
No
they
doubt.
keep me on my feet.
For sure. So, Elain, we're going to jump right into it. But we always kind of like to set the groundwork for the conversation and kind of go back. You know what I mean? Go back to young Elain.
Oh, wow.
You know, young, fresh, new. What was that Elain like?
Oh,
Just
life
a young
was
girl.
good. Like, life was good.
Yeah.
Not a care in the world. Like, I really had a beautiful upbringing. My mom, like, I mean, we didn't want for anything.
Yeah.
We really, really didn't.
And where did you mainly grow up between?
Born and raised in South Haven, but my parents built a house in Fenville, graduated from Fenville in '84, but I was all out, roots in South Haven.
Roots in South Haven.
Cousins, grandmother, always in South Haven. So, yes.
Yeah, and you said life was good, carefree.
Life was good. Carefree, not a worry, not a want or anything. I had a beautiful childhood.
That's wonderful.
I really did.
Now, when we talk about your parents, talk about your father, because I don't think a lot of people know a lot about your father.
When you say my father, my biological father, or my stepfather?
The father that raised you.
My stepfather.
Yeah.
Gene Williams. Cool cat. Coolest dude. Ride around South Haven Poly doing 10 miles an hour. Cool perm. Long neck. For real. I'm telling you. Cooler than a fan. Cool dude. A nice man. Married a lady with 3 kids and raised us as his own. He didn't have any children. Then they had my little brother in 72, Barry.
Gotcha.
Eugene. And then they built a home. We lived in South Haven, and then they built a home. They bought land in Fenville. And just... Yeah, he was a cool guy. I remember him at all he died, I think I was in the 8th grade when he died, but I remember him coming to basketball games of mine and, just a cool cat. Just
So what was it like when he passed? Was because that was the father that you knew, right? So how are you affected by that?
It was because in that loss, I not lost a dad. I lost my uncle. You know, they were in the car together.
That's right.
So yeah, so
Gil.
that was my uncle. So that was, you know, very traumatic at a young age, you know, and then watching my mom go through that because he treated her like
he the reason she was so bougie.
Rotten. I mean, rotten. Right. My mother was spoiled rotten by her husband, and they were married for I think 8 years, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, he spoiled her rotten. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But he was a nice man. You know, he would put in his reports if me or Sandra was bad. You know, Mama would deal with the girls, and Louis, he used to get a whooping every day because he was horrible. But you know, he was a nice man, and he took on a lady with 3 children. And then they had one together, so he was all right. He was a cool dude.
Shout out to the stepfathers,
to the stepdads out here that are nice and don't treat the stepchildren
any different. So you didn't feel no difference. No. You wouldn't even known that wasn't even your father.
Right. You know, I was older when they got married. I don't know. You know, I was younger. I don't know, about 6. I have to look at everything, but he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
You know.
And so then that was was that your first experience with loss, was losing him?
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Yes. A big, yes. As a child, it's kind of like you're scared, you know, until she snapped back, you know, because that was her everything.
Right.
So, you know, as a child, you're more afraid, you know, because you really don't know what's going on. Someone has died, you know that, but then you got to deal with after, you know, the funeral and everything like that, and then watching my mom go through that, you know, it was more scary, you know, more scary, not sad. I was just more afraid, you know.
Yeah.
You know, she would lock herself in her bedroom and wouldn't come out. And I remember one time we were in Finville, we called my uncle Alfred, I do believe, and just scared because she was just, you know, the man that did everything. Now your everything is gone, so it was scared to be around that time.
Yeah. So she had 3 kids, so she was a single mother before she met him. Right. Now you were a single mother as well. Right. Like we said, you had 4 kids. What was it like as a single mother, like early on when you were parenting, and then later when they got older?
Oh, I was kind of followed my mom. I was strict. Ashley says I was strict. You know, I was you strict,
or was she bad?
She was all right, little naughty little girl. She was a little naughty, but I mean, I was strict just because I had 4 kids. It was 4, so you know there has to be order in the house.
Right.
Like we need to take this trash out. You need to do the dishes. I don't care if you 8 or 7. You need to do these dishes and things need to get done.
I don't care if you 8 or
7 or 8. The dishes need to get done, and I mean trash needs to get drugged to and Po Nick, he would do it because Tevin was like, he got away with murder, but and Lexi, she didn't do anything because she was the baby.
Right.
So you know there was things that needed to be done, and I had to work. So with that being said, Ashley probably has been cooking since she was 9, and she can cook better than me. No, she can cook. Ashley, I'm telling you, Ashley can cook better than me. She's a good cook. And Lexi can cook, but Ashley can. She's been taking care of kids since she was 8 or 9 or 10. She's been taking care of kids because I had to work at Applebee's. I had to work double.
How long was it just you and Ashley?
Not long. Ashley will be 36 and Nick just turned 34.
Now, how you know them people want their ages out?
Them people is my kids.
Oh, man.
And then, but my mother did watch my children because the deal was if I work at night, I'm a waitress. So if I'm a server at night when they make money, she'll watch them at night. She said, I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not doing nothing, but I will come in and watch them. So that was the deal she made me. So they never had to go to daycare. None of my kids went to daycare. So
That's a blessing.
She did keep them. And then as they got older, I had different friends that would babysit for me, you know.
Right.
But yeah, so I never lived far away from where my kids went to, you know. And I always had somebody that could go get them. You know, if I knew I had to work a double, I had coworkers at my job that I'm friends with still to this day that would go get my kids at school and bring them to Applebee's until I was done working, if I had like to work until like 6 or something like that. So I always was thinking ahead, like I got to work a couple doubles this week. Who can pick these kids up? Who can pick my kids up? Or, you know, and as they got older, they were able to walk home, but I always had somebody that could pick my kids up.
Well, let's go past that though. But you working doubles all the time, so you gotta be missing something. You gotta be missing like something that's going on at school that you can't get to because you gotta make sure they can eat.
Yeah, I miss things. I did miss some things, and I tried not to miss a lot, but I did miss things because Alexis will say to this day, and it does kind of, you were always at work. That's why I don't like to work at night. You were always at work, you know, which I had to. I wasn't getting no child support check. So, I mean, it was just me. And my mother was like, they're your kids, you work. So the thing was 3 doubles a week at Applebee's. And I had to work, you know.
Yeah.
I had to work.
So then like growing into them being older.
Oh my Lord. That's when they started throwing the parties when I'd be at work. I mean, every kid from Creston. Alexis snuck upstairs. Remember when you had the cordless phone?
Yeah.
Snuck upstairs. Elaine and Alexis on the phone. Mom, they all downstairs. They smoke weed
telling
and everything. I left work, parked down the street from my house, walked up the street. I mean, it was at least 30 kids. I mean, kicking it. I was like, y'all got to go. Because I have to go back to work, but I was like, I didn't say like I give up, but they did want to be at the house, and I just didn't want to be responsible for anybody else's kids getting in trouble.
Absolutely.
1 or 2 kids on the porch, but the whole Creston High School, come on now, it's ridiculous. So,
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, but my kids, you know, they like to have fun. They have company over. And I would bust up the parties whenever she called me.
Right. And Lexi was the snitch.
Oh yeah, she was calling and telling.
So let's go back then. Because you said something. You said Lexi says till this day that you were always gone. So that's something that impacted her. What was the most significant event that happened to you when you were young?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I've had a pretty smooth life. I'm trying to think if anything really impacted me. And you said good or bad?
Good or bad. Nothing.
Wow, that's a good.
You know what that make me believe?
What?
Elaine? That you ain't processing a lot of stuff.
Probably not.
Cause I know Auntie lost a lot of people along the way. Mm-hmm. And none of that impacted you.
Well, remember, I'm the oldest. So when she lost her husband, I was in middle school, and then her husband was in the car with my uncle. And then my auntie, that I was like in the 8th grade, you know, mm-hmm. So.
You don't really remember that?
Oh, yeah. Like it was yesterday. Mm. But, you know.
What do you remember about that night with Auntie Wendy?
My mom got a phone call and said that my aunt had, you know, been hurt. And I got in the car with my mom and she said, nope, get out the car. She didn't want me to go with her. Mm-hmm. So she went and, you know, it's traumatic. A lot of times I try, because out of all the loss and recent loss and loss just period in life, you have to maybe I might push it down just to keep going, or else you can just fall apart. You can end up drinking too much, smoking too much, popping pills, or anything that you, or if you just push it down and just keep going, and maybe one day I might crack, but probably not. But
no, we're not gonna speak that.
Well, yeah, you're right. That's true.
But
you just
I do
keep it moving.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm no counselor. I don't know if that's good or bad. It doesn't seem like a good thing.
Right.
It seemed like a way to get past, but not necessarily through.
Correct.
Because if you can go around something, but that thing is still there.
It's still there. It's still
or
there.
You can get through it and dismantle it.
Right.
And then now you moved on and you worked through it. So
like my mom and her siblings, your dad, uncle, and everybody close. Uncle Jimmy, my auntie Wendy, they were close. Like they always did everything together, through parties together. They were always, at Finville. My mom hosted it. That was them, their spouses, and their children. Like we grew up together. We did. So, and then it's just it's life. Life has to go on. You be sad, and then you got to just pick up, and it'd be hard, but you got to pick up and move on. You can't stay. You got to keep it moving. It's sad, but
I agree. So when we talk about, because I remember my dad telling me that, and this helped me, with my relationship with my dad. I remember him telling me that after Auntie Wendy passed, he didn't care about nothing. He didn't care about himself, and he didn't care about nothing else. So
I get that because they were so close.
Yeah. And so, but when he told me that helped me to see that your parents are people.
Oh, yeah.
They were people before they were your parents.
Right.
Things that he didn't deal with affected how he parented.
Right.
And that allowed me to be more gracious.
Right.
In the respect that, okay, I didn't get everything that I needed from you, but you didn't even have it to give.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? You didn't even have it to give. So when you talked about pushing stuff down, when it comes to loss. And we know you experienced a great loss losing your son. Your son, though, that's your son. That's a piece of you.
Right.
My mom always say when she talk about my sister, she said, I can look at a picture and I immediately know if it was before or after Kyrie passed. See it in her face. You can see it in her eyes. Can you describe life before that and then describe it after that?
So before Tevin passed, my mom was this very vibrant, upbeat person. Everywhere she went, she got attention, and people just flocked to her. Hostess with the mostest. She did all of our family events, as far as me and my siblings and her grandchildren. Like, that's what she liked to do. So now, after Tevin passing, her patience, her tolerance, it's a wall, it's a cloud. And I see she tries so hard to continue to just push through and just keep going. And because, my mom is a very strong, I call her a cave woman. So to see somebody like as strong as she is, and to see her fold and break, that just lets me know that this is deep. And I knew once she broke down at his funeral that this was a journey. Like, this healing journey was not going to be overnight. Of course, it's not going to be happen overnight anyway because it's your child. But that was just what stuck out to me. And telling a little bit of her business, they had to hide the flash drive from her because after he passed, she watched it so many times. Like, she just was in disbelief. Like, she was still in shock.
I tell her all the time, like, just go talk to somebody. She don't want to. And I understand everybody's grieving process is different. So that's life after. You know, there's an empty spot there it's empty. Like Tevin he's always pop up to the house any time of the night. Anytime.
Any time of the
night. I'm getting up. Anytime. That was just him. I don't know. I'm joyful. I'll say joyful because Tevin was the light. He just brought light to my life. Always happy, always even if something was wrong, I could tell if something was wrong, but he wouldn't, and I think he got that from me. He wouldn't let you know it if something was going on, but like just happy. But then a loss, my light has dimmed a lot, but I push on. I have 3 other children. He left me with 9 grandchildren, so he
was fruitful.
Very fruitful and very handsome, and the ladies loved him. So I mean, it's hard, especially living here in my mom's house. Like that's just, I'll sit around here and be like, wow, if Tevin was still alive and I lived here, he'd get on my nerve. But
right,
that's he would just. He got a pass.
Right.
I think he got a pass with everybody.
Yeah, he did. He did.
But like life goes on, I move on. It's hard, it's rough. A lot of days I might not feel like it, but I always put a smile on and just push down my feelings because you have to keep, you have to keep moving.
That seems to be a theme with you, Elain. Push it down and just keep moving. Mm-hmm. That scares me. It scares me because I feel like it's just it's like pushing down a spring, and it's just like tension, and you keep pressing it down,
right.
And then one day it pops up. There's only so much pushing down you can do before it recoils.
I don't think I think I can handle it.
So do you think that's been effective for you? Like, be honest.
With the last 5 years? Are you talking about since loss?
Yeah, just pushing it down. Because pushing it down sounds like not dealing with it.
Right. And I can admit that.
Right.
And I can't say that, that whole week when my son died was a blur. I can't even barely remember that week that he died from just planning the funeral, and then the funeral that week. I can't remember anything. I can remember planning the funeral at Phil Brandt's, and I can remember the funeral. That whole week, I can't remember anything.
Right.
So, I know one day that I will have to deal with it, but
yeah.
And I know a day will come that I will have to deal with it.
Right.
But,
Do you think that how it happened makes it harder for you to just unpack it?
Probably so.
Yeah.
A senseless death. Yeah, probably so. Yeah. And I don't know, because even like my mom, like that was my girl. Like we would argue, you and your mom, you argue, you get into it, but then you don't talk, then you talk. And, she had ovarian cancer from the age of 52 to the age of 72 for 20 years. Man. Like a trooper. And you wouldn't know it.
Wouldn't have known
if nobody, you didn't.
I didn't know
She didn't tell people nothing. Mm-mm. And I think that's where I get that from too. So we knew, and I'm nosy, so I would always be doctor's appointments, and because I'm nosy, and she never wanted me to go no doctor's appointment with her. She wanted Sandra to go, because see, Sandra's passive. I'm nosy and gonna ask a million questions.
You like her.
Yep, nosy. And so I think that's probably where I get it from. She would just keep on going, keep on going until the day she left. So, and it's like, dang, she was in so much pain. You want them to be here, but
Yeah.
That's being selfish to want her to be here, and she was in so much pain.
Right.
At the age of 72. Tevin, he has his whole life to live. 9 kids. A jealous act from one young man. That's not, his life is ruined.
Right.
He's gone. It's like
senseless, like you said.
And, you know, and then I always think, well, that day I was gonna take that day off. It was Blueberry Festival. I was gonna take that day off. Yes, it was gonna. Yes,
sure was.
I was gonna take. I was already off Friday, and so that Saturday I was like, I'm gonna take that day off and go to Covert, because I likes to be on the stage and cut up and have a good time. And I'm like, well, maybe if I'd have been there and I'd have seen this young man, I'd have said, don't do it. But then, you know, what if? That's why I just say I'll push it down. God don't make no mistakes. You don't ask. I mean, you just push it down. So you just push it down until it's time to deal with it.
I feel like since Granny died, me, in my opinion, I feel like it was harder to grieve because we was already going through stuff with bro. So it was like, it was just harder to grieve. It was like, you don't even have time for it. And then it kind of made everybody like do their own thing, you know, like not in a bad way, but it's like, I'm gonna do this and this person gonna do that, and everybody got their own stuff going on. So when she passed, it was just like me personally, I was forced to find a way to grieve and cope and deal with it, because how I was feeling, it was like, I can't keep living like that. Like that feel. It's like you gotta learn how to deal with it and then just go through the motions, you know? Everybody take death differently. It definitely separated everybody, but not too much in a bad way. More so like everybody like, well, I got this going on, I'm gonna fix my problem. That's how I look at it.
Well, and I do think because your mom passed just a few months after that.
Mama died in January. Kevin died in August, yep.
So it's almost like you didn't have time to process one.
Oh, no.
Before you had, and as a matter of fact, when did Sam's husband die? Didn't he die at the same earlier that year?
December. Anthony died in December.
Like of the same year?
I think yep. Anthony died in December, and then Tevin died in August. So like that following. Yeah. But it was still back to back.
That's still back to back to back.
So you can't process it. You can't then Angie lose, and then it's like that Jerome. That was Angie died. Was that Valentine's Day?
That was the same. Yeah, Valentine's Day, and then Jerome died. I think in March.
That's like.
That was a rolling.
That's ridiculous.
I remember being at work and they called me and said that Angie had passed, and I was sitting at my desk, and my boss at the time happened to be in there, and I just put my head down on the desk and I just said, what is happening?
It's crazy.
What is happening? I was just so outdone.
Yeah. And
then Cato died as we were preparing for Tevin's funeral.
That same week.
Yeah. Tevin's funeral was coming up and Cato passed.
You had back-to-back funerals.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, how much can we, and I mean, I know we're only here but how much can we take? Like what? And then it's like, is it gonna break? Is it gonna break me? You know. Then watch my sister bury her husband that she was married with. For that was devastating. Like my sister, she that's my little sister. Like, she don't bother nobody. Like, I'll go to war for her. She don't, sweet, don't bother please don't mess with Sandra, because she don't bother nobody.
Right.
And to watch that, a husband of over 20 years, and then boom, and then mom, it's like, come on, man.
So when you say that, and this is understandable, but when you say she don't bother nobody, and I want you to be honest with me, Elaine, you kind of angry with God.
No, I'm not. I take back questioning why, but then I say to myself, well, I was always taught God he doesn't make any mistakes, never question. So then I feel bad, and like, I want to be blessed, and I don't want to say, why did you take? I'm more at peace, and then I don't want to say that. Like, my mom was sick for 20 years, and we knew. So that kind of, I miss her a lot. Like, we road trips, like, you already know.
Yeah.
But the sudden death of my son, like, why? But then they say God don't make no mistakes, and I'm just trying to, and I don't, like, what was that? What, and then I don't, well, he knows what
But
I'm
let
thinking.
Me tell you this,
why?
That was something that people said that is not necessarily biblically true. There are places in the Bible where people humbly ask God questions from a pure place, from a humble spot, and he indulged them. So we don't question his authority. We don't question his deity. We don't question his goodness, even in times of tragedy. But there are people in the Bible that ask God questions.
Right, okay.
And they asked humbly. And, they had a relationship with God. And God appeased their inquiry. Mm-hmm. So it's not necessary. I know people have said that all your life, but I think what they really are saying is, don't question his authority. Don't question his deity. Don't question his plan. Like, he is God. And he doesn't need our help to be God. His thoughts are above our thoughts. His ways are not our ways. And so we will naturally want to question. I questioned when Kyrie passed. I said all of the, and this ain't right. Lord forgive me for even thinking it. But I was like, all of these rotten kids out here, they disobedient to their parents. They disrespect all the, why'd you have to take my nephew? You know what I'm saying?
That's human. Just like, that's human. Just like, I've known young men in Grand Rapids that get shot 8, 9 times and still walking around right today. But my son didn't hit a major artery. I mean, and he bled out, and he just,
yeah.
It's just, why, and all them kids out there. But that person went to do one thing to one person, and he succeeded. So
And so I think, though, the main thing is to understand that when they say he doesn't make a mistake, there is something to be gained from that. It's hard to see it, but when I was pouting, and I said it, I was honest. I was upset. I was pouting with God because it didn't make sense to me. Like why? Like, why him? And then, as we often do when we say, why them? Why us? Why me? Why not?
Why not? Why not?
God sent his only begotten son to die for the sins of the world. And he knew no sin. You know what I mean? He didn't deserve it.
Nope.
Who am I to say? Everybody is somebody's nephew. Somebody's, you know what I mean?
So why not you?
So,
why not, it's easily a parent losing a child. I see how people that lose somebody so close to them, they just check out on life.
Yeah.
So you can't judge anybody that's lost somebody, like nervous breakdown or anything. And I'm strong-minded, but easily it can be done.
It can happen.
You know, like I like a cocktail or two. I don't smoke weed or I don't pop pills because that's just not me. But to just sit up and drink and drink a fifth of Ciroc and be like just sad and crying, but it's like, and then I had a praying mother. My mom, Elaine, you got to snap up out of this. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, you just be so, and it's like you can be so pitiful. But then you gotta just say, you just gotta pick yourself up. I'll sit out here and watch videos, and I might watch 2 or 3, and it's not gonna bring them back.
Right.
And I'll be pitiful. I'll be crying. I don't even every now and again, but I can go months now. You know.
Yeah.
And now that it's coming up on this anniversary of him being gone, I mean, it's not gonna bring him back. So I'm just like. I'll watch him just to see his face and his good-looking guy. You know,
yeah, and that's a blessing.
Right?
It can be painful, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Imagine if you didn't have that, if you couldn't turn on
videos
and hear his
like
voice.
That. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, yeah, but it hurts. It hurts. You know, it hurts. Yeah. And then look at the kids that look like him. It's ridiculous.
Man, that's what. Well, listen, that you marked him because he just your face on a male. He just your face on a man, and then he just passed that thing down.
I mean, I was in Grand Rapids and seen Jadis, and I just like he looks just like Tevin. It's crazy.
Man, he got a daughter that looks just like him too somewhere. Who daughter is
It's a bunch of them.
somewhere.
Ambria
looks
is
that like the she from South Haven?
Yes.
Oh
Brielle.
my gosh.
And then there's Brielle. And they look like Alexis too.
Yes.
Brielle
and Alexis look a lot alike.
Yep. They look exactly alike. A bunch of them.
It is.
Ariel,
that's a blessing too, though.
Man,
to
the school for
he will live
I got
on.
$10 for each kid. I ain't got nothing. Man,
hey, that's a cool yard you gotta hand out, man.
Everybody get a pack of pencils from Family Dollar. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's your school supplies. Go forth,
man. This is crazy. So yeah.
Do you see a day where you will be able to forgive the young man?
I talked to my grandmother. She's 95 because her daughter, my aunt, was taken by, and I was talking to her about that, and she said this man wanted her to come up to Jackson to see her, and he wanted Grandma Bay to go visit, and she said, Elaine, I just couldn't do it. So I'm riding with my grandmother, and I feel sorry for him. You know, I had a chance to stand up in front of that young man and talk to that young man, look that man in the face and say, if you would have gotten to know Tevin, in jealousy, Tevin, you're just plain out jealous and just envy for whatever, Right. So I don't know. I feel bad for him that he's got to spend the rest of his life in prison. I feel bad for him. I don't hate him. I feel sorry for him. I don't hate him. I was just happy, and I knew my grandparents, they praying. They were like, they're gonna catch him, because I would hear so many negative people. They ain't gonna catch nobody. And I was like, yes, they are.
Yeah,
I've already been on Maple. They done already prayed.
I was about to say
they're gonna catch him. So
that's big, though. What you just said. I don't hate him. I feel bad. That's sorry. The beginning of forgiveness.
I just feel sorry for him. I wish he could have thought that through. And it's so sad because people knew. And I said, I just don't understand. People, there's no way that I can be with a friend of mine and I know that she's going to do something like a fist fight, okay? And not even like, come on now, but to like pull out a gun and shoot. Oh, no, you're not going to. It's sad. It's just sad. And that's just the world we live in right now.
We do.
It's sad. Just these kids, they have no regard for life.
For life.
They just taking life, and then they got to go. Then they either go on the run or they get locked up for life. That's crazy.
Right. That's just sad. Like, and I was actually talking to a guy earlier today. And he's from the Kalamazoo area, and we were talking about the passing of Tristan Coulter, Makita's son, who was shot there in Kalamazoo. And I said, we got to change the culture. We got to change the culture. They have to see themselves when they see other brothers. But the problem is, if you don't love yourself, when I see you and I see myself, I don't care.
It's sad. It's sad. Like,
yeah, and I don't know, but I think just that's the start of it, though. For you to even be able to sit there knowing how it affected you losing your son, to say, I don't hate him. That's a good start, Elaine.
Yeah, I never hate. You know, they were like, well, let's go ride out. Let's go do this. Let's go shoot. No, because that's for what? Another mother can, yeah, come on now. I didn't want that. I just wanted him locked up.
Right.
And only, I had to just settle for the one, which I'm sure there were more,
right?
To get the shooter, but
yeah, and that's some measure of justice.
You're right.
It's some measure of justice, and that always helps.
Yeah.
I'm gonna challenge you though, cause I'm gonna challenge you.
What?
To stop pushing down and start unpacking. Yeah, start unpacking it. Because you'll be surprised, and I've never been in your shoes, so I can't speak to that. But just the point of dealing with stuff that affects you,
right?
And whatever it is, you got to unpack that stuff and feel it and try and understand it in order for it not to forever be this albatross around your neck.
Right.
I'm moving forward, but you're moving forward with this big weight on your neck.
Which is something, a big thing on your back.
Yeah. So you're moving, but you could be walking lighter.
A little lighter.
Yeah, just a little bit. Let's move on from that. And let's talk about Juices by Elain, because you started this the same year that Tevin passed.
No.
2021.
Well, I started
before that, right, but I'm saying it was the same year.
Yes.
Yeah.
They shut my website down for me during that time. I always juice green juice. I would always juice like some celery, some cucumbers, and some green apples all the time. For me, I had my little Jack LaLanne juicer.
Is that the Slim Lexi?
No, the Slim Lex is just celery and lime.
Oh, that's
the Slim Lex. Celery juice, the celery juice flattens your stomach. That's what they say. So during COVID, when everything got shut down, I was just at home eating and drinking, getting fat. And I was like, man, I better start making some juices or, doing something and finding something on YouTube, because you couldn't do nothing.
Right.
So I would be in my kitchen in Grand Rapids, and I would just set up a little tripod and I would just juice, record. Sometimes I would go live and just have fun because everybody was at home anyway.
Yeah.
So I just started selling juices like that, and I just would sell the jars, the 16-ounce jars. I would go to like Family Dollar and buy all the jars and, sell them for like $5.
Mm-hmm.
So my ex-husband was like, you're not making any money, just $5. That ain't good.
You ain't
I
making
said, well, I gotta up the price. So I went to all the Family Dollars and bought all the 16-ounce jars, was washing them out, going live, air drying them, and just juicing. And people would be like, Elaine, I want to buy some juices. And they would want to, and I just put up my Cash App. I deliver. They put their cooler on the porch with ice, and I would just deliver it like that. And that's how I was like, I was the juice lady.
Right.
So then when everything opened back up and I went to work, one of my regulars was like, well, what have you been doing? And I was telling her about my juice business, and she owns a PR company in Grand Rapids downtown, across the street from the police station. So she was like, I want to help you build your business. And people say that. So she was like, here's my card. I got to go out of the country. reach out to me. So I emailed her, and she brought me in, and I had samples of my juices in my little 4-ounce bottles. By then I had bottles from Uline. I had nice labels that didn't bleed, when they get wet. So I was kind of sort of doing stuff, researching and stuff like that. I had bought a printer and everything. So when I got in there, she said, well, I was the juice lady. She said, I think you should just be Juices by Elain. And then I had a peach. That was and a peach, that looked like a bud. So she said, we're going to redo your label. So they redid it. They did my website, and I was off and running.
And they did an amazing job with it,
and
too.
I had my buddy Nick Clark. He was a student at Michigan State. He was my intern. He did all of my videos in my kitchen. He did my website. He knew everything about my Instagram, and it was popping. So when they did for 6 months. So that got me off and running. I was delivering to offices, like say you wanted 30 or 40 juices for the office, come in, put them in the refrigerator. You'd have those, I had my website was up, Juices by Elain. So, that's how it really, and I liked it. And I would juice from like 10 in the morning until like 2, until I would go to work. I'd be in the kitchen, I'd be juicing, and then I'd be out delivering.
And then too, talk about just give them an idea, because you didn't just materialize these connections. You worked in high-end restaurants.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And your personality, that's what I say, you gotta be committed to what you're doing. Had you not been the type of service provider you were in these places,
right,
these connections would not be
Absolutely not.
Talk about how those connections came back to bless you.
Yep. Well, working at Ruth Chris, I opened Ruth Chris, so I was there for 11 years. So I met a lot of wonderful people. I'm not going to name drop, but I met a lot of wonderful people, and I didn't realize this until after Tevin died. We have the same type of personality, a magnetic personality. I had a friend that I worked with at Ruth Chris, and he said, Elain, you're regulars, you have like a cult-like following. They love you. And I'm just genuine. I talk and laugh. I talk about my family, my grandkids, and they get a kick out of Elain having 16 grandkids. They just think that's just...
I know they can't believe it.
So these people... What are you doing? Oh, I'm juicing, or I'm doing my mobile bartending. Oh, you got a card? And I never was supposed to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. If you need a bartender for the next Christmas party, if you need juices for the office, and they've supported me. But to have my own business, Juices by Elain and Cocktails by Lady E, my mobile bar service, if I can't go, I have bartenders I can send out to that wedding or send out to that birthday party, or whatever event,
Right.
So.
What a blessing. Now, I didn't even know you was a bartender. I didn't. I know I seen you shaking up stuff every now and then.
I'm kind of self-taught only because of working at Ruth Chris and watching the bartenders and just learning things.
Paying attention to what's going on.
And then my Corey, shout out, he's one of the best mixologists in Grand Rapids. He has taken several of my juices and private events and made cocktails into them with my fresh juices. So, and just learning and watching, and now I said, it's Cocktails by Lady E.
You talked about, your ex-husband at the time that was kind of helping you through it. So you were married, and now you're no longer married.
Correct.
You lose loved ones. Mm-hmm. You gain this new business.
Right.
Relationship is no longer. Marriage is one of those things that can be beautiful.
Right.
What were the things that you will pull from that time period that you think is beneficial to you, and what are some of the things you found out that I'm gonna let that go?
Beneficial 2 paychecks.
Yeah.
No.
Listen,
Two income.
no.
Two income.
Listen, let's not play that.
Right. Two income.
I know everybody want to be booed up and whatnot, but them 2 paychecks coming in now.
Beautiful.
Girl, I can't wait to get my second paycheck.
Oh, yeah. Beneficial just to have a partner, who no one gets married to just get a divorce.
Right.
But to look back, to think back about like, I probably could have not bowed down, but not been, I don't know, stubborn, or you've been what? Because a lot of times it's your delivery too.
Yeah.
You can't talk to me crazy and think that I'm gonna be June Cleaver, because it's not happening.
Right.
And then the ups and downs, and then it's like, well, maybe, I don't know if I want to say, or fight a little harder for something that if you want it to be, but then if not, you might just be beating a dead horse, but
right.
taking out of that, out of my marriage, communication. Communication is always key. Don't hold a grudge. Please don't hold it. That's the worst in a marriage. Walking around mad at somebody or over stupid stuff, and then you've been mad for 3 days and you don't even know what you're mad about now. And forgiving, like just,
there's that word
forgiving,
again.
what?
Forgiving.
Forgiving
is the root of all happiness.
It makes things, because you forgiving somebody, it's not for them, it's for you. It takes that weight off,
It does.
So
what would you tell me what should I expect of going into marriage?
Well, like my mother told me, however you started, you got to stay like that. How if you gonna be in there making food and all that, you got to keep that going. You got to keep that going. You got to keep that going. Just a bit. And I have listened to people, and I mean, I pray. I don't pray a lot, but I probably should pray more. And I know how. My mother was like, Elaine, you got to learn how to pray, because I'm not going to be here long. And so she did say that to me, to pray over your husband, and to pray over your marriage. And I think sometimes I might, you have an argument, forget that nigga,
You're right. You mad at him,
so you don't even want to talk about being, long suffering and I think it's not sometimes, like if you treat somebody if you treat them sweet, you would think they would treat you sweet and caring and loving back, always uphold and, say, hey, I'm proud of you, bro. But some just be all over a nice wife,
That's good advice.
Just be nice and, supportive.
Yeah.
But if they wrong, tell them that at home. Don't tell them in public. In front of the family. Wait till you get in the car and say, babe, now you
rose 2 left shoes on that.
You don't get in front of, how some people be in front of the whole house.
Right.
They now you lying.
Right. That ain't even all that.
That's good advice. Because it's time for you to have a husband.
It is.
Somebody gonna come to you. Because I didn't get married until I was 45, and I had never been married.
Well, I done passed that milestone, but you passed. I just turned 46, Elaine.
Oh,
you was at the party.
But boy, you looking like Mary J in that outfit. I didn't think you was. And I say little cousins, baby cousins. Baby cousins looking like Mary J. Y'all got to go back and look at the entrance when she came into the birthday party.
Let me ask you this. This is I ask everybody to come on the podcast.
Oh Lord.
Just in a couple sentences. After you've done your last lap around the sun and you going on, what do you want to be said about you?
Oh, they're gonna say how I was the life of the party. I was a true friend. I was just an all around beautiful person. They don't say Elaine was She's the life of the party. She loves to have a good time. I love to entertain. I love to be around my family and my children.
Yeah.
I'm a friend to the end. I'm a helper.
That's what's up. So let the people know all the things that you got coming up, all the ways they can get in touch with Juices by Elain or Cocktails by Lady E. Tell them what your website, social media, give them all of that.
Well, my website is down since I've been in South Haven, but juicesbyelain@gmail.com. So if you ever want to order any type of juices from me, juicesbyelain@gmail.com. And a lot of people already know how to get in contact with me. Instagram, juicesbyelain.com, Cocktails by Lady E, Instagram and Facebook. I'm all over social media. I'm the easiest person to find. And if you ever want to inquire about a mobile bartending service, this is Cocktails by Elain, cocktailsbyelain@gmail.com.
All right,
so that's how you can find me. I'm easy to be found. Everybody know where I'm at.
That's what's up. And before we say good night, I just want to say what you said you hope they say about you. I'm going to tell you right now while you're still here to hear it. You have not only been all of that you hope that they say about you, you've been even more. You're one of the biggest supporters of this family.
I love to support my people.
You are one of the biggest supporters of this family, and I think that's not a small thing.
I love when
people feel it. I love you. I love everything that you have going on. I'm praying that you begin to unpack instead of push down. And I just want you to know the impact that you had on this family is great. The impact that you have on me, my son, he feels the same way. We feel it. We feel the love and the support from you always. And that is the thing that I will never forget about you. Right. And you got it from your mama. Thank you so much for sitting down.
This was nice. My first podcast. It was nice. I was a little nervous, but
you did so
nice.
good. Right. It was nice to have you. One more time, inmates, give it up for Lady E, the Juice Lady, Elain Hunter.
Hey. I got kids, bro. I got family, bro. I got loved ones. I couldn't imagine, bro. Y'all slaughtering motherfuckers, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Ain't that much rap music. Ain't that much. Come on. Come on. Ain't that much coolness. Like, what the fuck, man? This shit is a game, bro. A pistol is not gonna protect you out here. You would die with that motherfucker in your hand. Do you understand?
Why my niggas gotta lose their life? Why we can't link up and pour foreign the Sprite? Because the system locking niggas and they drilling tonight. My family pride make it out of this life. I make it out, it be nice. I got kids, they be needing me, right? The day I sign my check, we out on the flight. I'm gripping tight on this pipe. I bet a nigga ain't gon' kill me tonight. Pray to the Lord, my mama see me do right. My little cousins is grown. They don't remember, we was running from home. Dodging the church van, the one that picked us up in the zone. You catch a case, man, them hoes don't put shit on the phone. Now you sick, sitting there thinking you should've left her alone. I'm gone, Ro had a plan, that's my big brother. He was on the mission. He came a long way from whipping, working Richie Kitchen. Shout out QP, you disrespect him, then you gotta get it. Don't get it twisted, I stay bumping heads with that nigga. Wop, what up, my nigga? I can't forget about you. I fell out with my day one nigga, cause he tried to rob you. You hit my phone right after that, like Tev, you know it's problems. It wasn't nothing to talk about when we seeing me dropping. And that's a Richie, if you ain't know, that's my blood brother. If he go, I gotta go. I take a slug for him. Get caught, I take the time lot to the judge for him. And gave him all of my connects, I left a plug for him. It's the Mo, 365, we ain't lacking on him. And can't forget Big Mosey, he got it tatted on him. We used to pop out flexing, had all the hoes on us. And can't forget the situation, we got pole on us. I swear to God, I'm so happy, my brother put her home. He didn't miss out on so much, but we still moving on. Life's a gamble, you better not crap out on your fucking road. I put my life on all these beats to put my niggas on. I put my life on all these beats to put my niggas on. I put my life on all these beats to put my niggas on. I put my life on all these beats to put my niggas on. I put my life on all these beats to put my niggas on.